April 2016. I'm at the Australian Embassy. It's Australia Day in spring. It's a very big event. The back lawn of the embassy is beautiful. They got this special grass so that it's green all year through. So it looks great. Cherry blossoms all around. Gorgeous scene. Have about 1,000 guests come to this event in waves. Politicians, cabinet ministers, senior government officials, leading business people. And it's a big event. There's probably about 600-700 people there at any one stage. So I'm walking through the crowd and I see people I know, and then I'm looking for people who I can meet. So I see a gentleman with a group of others, and I walk up, introduce myself, I exchange business cards. 2 years later, that meeting turned out to be worth $1 million to my company. Now, there's 700 people in that audience at any one time, but one of them was worth $1 million. There may have been others, but I couldn't get to them. But I got to that one, and I made the effort to find that one. So my point to you is about networking. You don't know which one of the people you're going to meet could be a substantial client. I don't know if it's going to be $1 million, $10 million, $500,000, $200,000. But the networking process is an excellent way to meet potential clients and develop your business, which is why I've put this talk together today. As Carla mentioned, I'm the president of Carnegie Training Japan. We're a 107-year-old organization. We've been here in Japan for 56 years. We are the oldest corporate training company in this country. And so we teach sales, of course. We teach networking, of course. And Carla mentioned my book, Japan Sales Mastery. I wrote a section in here on networking. But I'd like to talk a bit more depth today than what I could fit into the book. So I want to talk about the mental game of networking. And the metaphor I'm going to use here is cure for cancer. If one of us in this room had the cure for cancer, and we could help so many people, what would we do? Would we be bashful about sharing the cure with people? Would we be shy to let people know we've got the cure for cancer? Of course we wouldn't. We'd be very confident. We'd be very committed. We'd be very motivated to share that cure for cancer with as many people as possible. Now, as business people, we're not medicos. We don't have the cure for cancer. But all of your businesses have a cure for some business issue. You provide something for companies to help them grow their businesses. Otherwise, you wouldn't be in business. Right? So if you think about it, we all have a duty. How can we take what we're doing in our companies and find other people we can cure their business problems through our solution? Now, of course, we can advertise. For small, medium-sized companies in Japan, advertising is quite expensive. We can do SEO, and that's getting harder and harder. We can do Google ads, we can do Facebook ads, LinkedIn ads, Amazon ads. Again, it's tough, and we should do all those things. We can get referrals if we're doing a good job, and we ask people, you're very happy with the results. I'm just wondering, if you think about your circle of business contacts, is there anybody else who'd benefit from this solution to try and get them to refer someone? But we can also do it through networking. Now, in my own case, this is Japan. So as the president of the company, it's very difficult for me to pick up the phone and cold call someone. Because in the culture of this country, if the president's cold calling you, the assumption is there's something wrong with that company. Now, my staff do it, of course, but in my role, I can't do it. So I'm limited in what I can do. So I concentrate on networking because I've got the cure for business problems across all industries in my business. And I want to share that. And I encourage you to think the same about what you're doing. Don't be shy about talking to people you don't know. Don't be afraid to walk up to people you've never met before. And don't be afraid to introduce your business, because you will be able to find $1 million customer, perhaps, or better, in that group of people. And, what's the objective of networking? What are we doing this for? I'm not looking for a girlfriend. I've already got a wife. right? I don't need a girlfriend. So I don't go to networking to find a partner. I don't need to have new friends. I've got plenty of friends. I do networking for one purpose alone, and that is, well, what is it? What do you think it's going to be? Do I want people to know me, or do I want to know them? Where do you think that sits? Do you want to be known, or do you want to know? Well, ideally, we all want to be known, because if we're known, they'll call you. They'll say, I'm looking for this. Oh, I need some sales strategy. Carlo does sales strategy. I'm calling Carlo. I need some IT technicians, IT specialists for my company, but I don't need them full-time. I need them part-time or limited time. I'm going to ring Mark, and he's going to help me to find those people. You want to be known, so people call you. But how do you become known? Well, social media is one way, but networking is another way. And I have got no inhibitions at all about meeting as many people as possible to be known, because I want to be top of mind. When they're looking for a solution that I can help them with, if they think of that problem, hopefully they'll think of me and contact me. And it happens a lot. Funnily enough, no one uses the phone anymore, Carlo. I don't know what's happened. We can all get rid of our phones at work because no one rings you anymore. It's coming through Messenger, or it's coming through Facebook, or it's coming through LinkedIn. New channels that we never had before in the old days. But it's coming because I'm trying to be known. So I encourage you, know people and be known. And why not? What's the worst thing that could happen? I was at a French chamber event. French chamber, by the way, very expensive. And I joined, and I found it, relatively speaking, a difficult networking group, to be honest. But I remember I was walking into a function, and one of the gentlemen said, "Oh, you are always spamming me." Now, a lot of people might be upset by that. They might think, "Oh, how rude of him." I was very happy because I'd met him, I'd become known to him, he recognized my face straight away, and he'd been given my card and I got his card and he was getting my emails. That's why I thought I was spamming him. Guess what? I don't worry about that, because in that crowd of 300 people, he's the only person who had a problem with that. The other 299, they're getting the information from me. So sometimes you've got to be a little bit resilient, a little bit tough. Ignore that stuff. Flip it around the other way. If you think about your own company, if you think about your own sales force, and I say this to people, and they say, "Well, you followed up with me, you wanted to meet me after I met you." I said, "That's right." "Well, I'm pretty busy. I don't really want that." Well, think about this. What do you want your sales force doing? Do you want your sales force out there networking, meeting potential clients, following up, and trying to create new business, or not? And of course they do, right? So we all do. So yes, you will get a bit of pushback at times. Ignore it, because the greater good is curing cancer inside corporates. Corporates have different types of cancer, not medical cancer, but different types of corporate cancer. We, in our businesses, have solutions. We should not be hesitating or shy about introducing those. So my key message is, change the mental game that you might have about walking up to complete strangers and meeting them. And where would you meet them? Could be events like this. Chamber events are very, very good. The American Chamber, particularly, as you know, has got a monstrous number of events all the time. Don't go to the things that you're interested in. I'll say that again. Don't go to the things you're interested in. Go to the things that most people are interested in, because it'll be a bigger group. You'll have more chance to meet people. So you pick. If you know Jesper Cole, who does a lot of speaking, once a year I think he speaks for the chamber, there's going to be 150 people in that room, guaranteed. That's an event I want to be at. I mean, I enjoy Jesper. He's very entertaining. It's always educational. He's a great speaker. But even if he was dull, boring, and hopeless, I'd be there for the 150. Right? And so you look for, where are the clients? Where are the potential clients? go to those events. And it could be study groups. I belong to many chambers. We're in the German chamber, we used to be in the Italian chamber, used to be in the French chamber. I used to be the president of the Australian New Zealand chamber, American chamber, if I left out, British chamber. So yes, I'm spending a lot of money on those chambers, but that's where the business is. I went to a German chamber event last night. I came back with 10 cards of the HR directors of 10 companies I'd never met before. That's a very valuable use of my time. And guess what? This morning, I followed up with an email to every one of those people trying to meet them. Some will ignore me, won't answer me. Some will. I'll have to follow others up. Doesn't matter. Those study groups, chambers events are very good hunting grounds for meeting potential clients. And the layout is important. This venue, actually, over there, whenever they have the Super Bowl, sorry, I'm forgetting Super Bowl. The arrangements are extremely bad. It's a very big venue. They take the whole space and they run the tables this way across in long tables. So it's table, 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 but long lines of tables. It's very hard to get into. It's very hard to meet people. And I've been to a Super Bowl, some ridiculous hour in the morning, and we're all drinking, can you believe that? Trying to meet people, but you can't meet people because it's laid out. So you've got to look for the layout, or it could be a very big event. I find big events, like I'm talking, hundreds and hundreds of people, it's a bit overwhelming. It's hard, it seems strange, but there's a sort of scale where it's too big to network. It's just too vast. You can't get to enough people and have a relationship with them. It's just too big. So you've got to find the medium size. This is a good size today. And, probably up to 150, 200 is probably a good size. When it gets over that, somehow the scale seems to work against you. It's hard to get to the right people. You spend a lot of time meeting the wrong people who are not going to help you in your business just by the sheer volume. The proportion of people who are useful to you to meet against those who aren't, okay, the proportions don't work for you. So layout is important. Think about the event. So I don't go to the Super Bowl anymore because it's pointless. No good going there. And Alex was asking me about, what do you mean by kissing frogs, Greg? She saw the slides, right? What do you mean by frog kissing? Well, if you know your Western fairy tales, they have the classic story of the Wicked Witch with a sort of, pointy nose and warts all over her face and pretty ugly and a big strange-looking hat. She decides to punish the good hero and heroine of the story. So she puts a spell on the beautiful princess, right? And she's asleep. She's in a coma. She's out. She can only be awoken by the kiss from the handsome prince, right? But she's out. He's been turned into a toad. He's been turned into a toad. So the toad has got to kiss the princess. Most people don't want to be kissed by a toad. So, she's going to be awakened from that spell, from when the kiss is applied by the handsome prince. That's the same with networking. In this room, there is a handsome prince and a beautiful princess for you in your business. But you don't know which one of the people in here is that $1 million customer. You don't know who is going to be the one you should kiss. You've got to kiss them all. You've got to kiss them all. You've got to meet as many people as you can to find the beautiful princess or the handsome prince and get them out of their spell so you can do business with them. You can't select them. When I was selling door-to-door, at the age of 16, when I left high school, that was my first job out of high school, selling door-to-door. I was selling Encyclopedia Britannica. Anyone who's done door-to-door selling B2C, you will know that B2C salespeople selling door-to-door are all experts with X-ray vision. They can tell from the outside of the house whether the people in there are going to buy their product or not. So I'm not going to knock on that door. They don't want a Britannica. Oh, that one maybe. Oh, that one no. It's not the case, is it? You don't know until you knock on the door. So you can't assume, I'll work it out, I'll look around, who looks like they're going to be a potential here. You might meet someone who's not the decision maker. That's how you get to meet the decision maker. They might be a line manager. HR takes, in my case, HR takes care of things. I want to meet the people in HR. Or it might be the other way around. You might meet the marketing person and you need sales. Like Carlo, for example, he wants to meet the sales line manager. He meets the marketing, he tries to get introduced that way. So everyone's got connections. You think about your own networks, they're vast. Tap into other people's networks and try and meet the key people who are the decision makers to buy your product or service. Don't try and second guess who you think is going to be important. You think, oh, well, women are out because women aren't important in Japan. Not true. Young people are out because they got no power. Not true. You can't tell. You can't tell who can get you to the key person. So you need to get to everybody and then find out if there's a potential. And you've got to have a filter. Now, when you meet someone for the first time, how do you know if this person is a potential client or not? You all have an avatar. You have an ideal client framework, you know. This is what an ideal client looks like for our business. You all have that. You know what it looks like. So when you're meeting people, you're running them up against the ideal client, the comparison. Do they match? And you have a filter. Now, in my case, as a training company, my filter is how many people work in your company? You get the card. Oh, what do you do? Oh, yeah. How many people work in your company? As soon as I hear that, I'm going, where do they fit in to what we can do? Right? If they're 1,000 plus, they probably have internal training already. If they're 20 people, they probably have no training because it's too small a number. But we've got a lot of public programs, so I can introduce them to public programs. If they're between, say, 500 and 1,000, they probably don't have training yet, but they're quite big. That's a type of sweet spot. You will have a sweet spot. What is your sweet spot? Where can you find the ideal client for your business when you meet someone? You run that filter over them. Now, some people say to me, well, Greg, I tried networking, but I got stuck talking to the same person all night. I didn't know how to escape. That's right. It's difficult. You have to be charming. Now, for me, being charming is a major effort. I have to lay down after a couple of hours of networking because I'm exhausted. Being charming kills me. But you've got to be charming to everybody, and you do have to disengage because there are plenty of other frogs you've got to kiss in that room. Who are they? Go and find out. Kiss them, find out. So you've got to break it off. So how do you break it off? You say things very simply like, well, Sarah, it's been great meeting with you. Really enjoyed talking to you. I'm just going to go and meet a few other people tonight. Really look forward to catching up with you again. That's how hard it is. Don't be rude, be charming, but end the conversation and go and find someone else. And you'll find also that people are not upset by that. They understand, it's a networking event. Japanese are a bit trickier though. If you go to an event with Japanese, you get them here in the American Chamber events. They come early, that's good. They sit down straight away. They don't mingle. Right? So you've got to get in there and you've got to get to them while they're seated because they don't go there for networking. This is very interesting. We talk about Japan should be more entrepreneurial. This country needs more entrepreneurs. We need to be more entrepreneurial. But no one wants to network. That's being entrepreneurial. So we've got to educate Japan to be more entrepreneurial and do more networking, meet more potential business partners. And I say, you've got to know more to become more valuable. You know already at this point in your life what you already know. But your value goes up if you can increase your depth of knowledge. When you meet other people, you learn valuable information about their industry, about their business, about their problems, about what works, doesn't work, because you're starting to build a bigger circle of contacts. You can read, and that's great. You need to read. Okay, you can listen to podcasts, and that's great. Listen to podcasts. You can watch videos, watch the videos, but also see networking as an opportunity to build your expertise in a bigger frame. We were here the other night for JMEC, the Japan Market Expansion Competition. It's a particular competition. It's in its 25th year. It's an opportunity for younger people, inverted commas, to work on a project for a client and deal with their business problem, write a business plan, and then have it evaluated and present it and get awards. It's a great opportunity for younger people to get touch with all the different aspects of a business. You might be in marketing, but you're talking to someone, an engineer. That's very interesting. You can learn about engineering. If you're in sales, right, and you're talking to someone who's in management, you can find out what's going on in management. What are the issues? That's very educational as you build your total business portfolio of skill sets and knowledge. So networking gives you tap in. Now, last night, for example, at the German Chamber, it was on the new, well, actually, Carlo was talking before, the Hateraki Kata Kaikaku, new laws coming out for that new style of work. Very large German company president is attending that. And I've met him before, and I said, I'm very impressed to see you here. This is a mega company we're talking about, right? Global mega company, that you've come to this event. I thought, most people would send their HR people. So he's giving me an education on his company and how they think, and what are all the issues for them inside their business around this whole issue. I learned a lot in just 10 minutes with that gentleman. How hard is it to get to the president of a major global corporation? It's not that easy, but they're there at these events. If you find the right events, you can get access to them. We'll talk about how you do that in a moment. So some of you would have noticed, actually, who was first here tonight? Where are you? Yeah, thank you, from Deloitte's, right? I was here when you got here, and I met you when you arrived. And I met most of you. There's a few of you I didn't meet because you came after we closed the doors and started. But how many people have already met me in this room? Already exchanged business cards with me? Yeah, almost 100%, right? Come early and take advantage of that. When Alex sets up the room outside for the name cards, they're all there. Now, the American Chamber won't give the speaker a list of who's coming for privacy reasons. Won't find that out. Many organisations are like that, others are not. They give you the list. But when you get there early and go through the name cards. Who do I know whose face I can remember, but can't remember the name? Oh, yeah, that's the name. Cuts out the embarrassment, doesn't it? Hi! Great to see you. I wonder who you are, right? Cuts that embarrassment right out. Get here early, check the names. Then you put face and name together. That's very nice. So when you meet them, you say, hey, great to meet you, and you use their name. Perry, good to see you. And Perry, he says, oh, I feel good because I got remembered. Garrett, good to see you. He feels good because he got remembered, right? That's one thing. The other thing is, you look through the list of companies. Oh, I know this guy, I know this guy, I know this gal, I know this gal. I don't know this company. Oh, I don't know this person. Oh, I want to meet that person. And depending on the venue, you might ask the organisers. You might say to Alex, okay, Alex, I want to meet this person. Where are they? She says, oh, that's that person with her back to you over there, right? Go and find them. So you get there early, study the cards, remind yourself who you already know, name and face, and then look for people you want to meet. How expensive is that? You come 15 minutes ahead of everybody else. It's not expensive, it's free. And why stay late? Well, as Carlo very aptly demonstrated before, the organisers want you to stop networking, sit down so the meal can be served so they can get on with the program. So you won't always get to meet everybody at the first stage, right? So you try and look for the occasion after. You miss someone, make a beeline. A lot of people make a beeline for the speaker to exchange cards, and that hopefully you've already done that. So you try and make a beeline for someone you missed that you wanted to meet. And I say no business discussions allowed. That sounds a bit counterintuitive, doesn't it? No business discussions, what's he talking about? What I'm talking about is you meet people, be charming, and you get their card and you say, well, what does your company do? And you run your filter, running your filter, and then you try to find out if there's some match with what you're doing. But you don't try and have a sales conversation right there and then, because it's not the right atmosphere. The sales conversation you want is back in their office the following week, in that week. Don't try and sell them on anything in that venue. Your job is to meet them, get an idea, and then try and put a hook in there that allow you to come back. And so some of the emails I'm writing this morning are, really enjoyed our discussion. As I mentioned, Or I might say, as we discussed. And what I'm setting up there is the hook is now in there from the night before to do the follow-up. So when they get the email, they're not surprised. Because I said, I'll get back to you. I'll follow up with you. I take the conversation to a certain point where I go, they're in. I want to meet this person. They're in. I'm going to kiss that frog hard, right? They're in. The others aren't in. Don't follow up with them. But you've got to put the hook in that you will follow up. Because they get an email out of the blue, they're like, that French guy, you're spamming me, you know? They don't like it. You've got to put the hook in the conversation, but don't go too deep because it's not the right venue for that. It's too noisy, too many people around. You can't discuss business at that level. And then I say, work the room, work all the tables. So some of the crew here from Robert Walters came in before, and I said, okay, gang, don't sit together. Spread out. That was my little hint, right, on networking. Do that. If you come together, you try and find different tables so you can meet new people. But often I find I go to the table and it's same company, same company, same company, all sitting together. You work together all day long. Why do you have to sit together for the event? Spread out, meet some new people. Talk about your business, PR your business, become charming. And remember, we all judge companies on you. When we meet you and you're rude and you're not very nice, we think everybody down there is really rude, not nice. We meet you and you're really charming and you're friendly and you're great. We think everybody down at your shop is charming, friendly, and great. We judge the whole team on you. So you're always going to remember you're the ambassador. You're the one who's going to represent the organization. Be charming, be friendly, be nice with people, but work the room. And say, like this, so we're sitting down here. This is my table. Now, as it happens, I've met everyone on this table, but I would come to this table last, normally. I would go and work every other table. I'm not sitting on your table, but often you don't know that because I just turn up and I work the whole table, meet everybody. I go to the next table, I meet everybody as much as I can in the time I've got allotted. And finally, I do my own table because they're a captive audience. They're there. I can easily meet them and talk to them over lunch. I can discuss things with them over lunch. I can engage with them. But for you, I've only got a few moments to meet you and just try and find out if you're the frog that I've got to kiss or not, right? And if the business is there or not, okay? So don't be shy. Remember, you got the cure. You got the cure for corporate cancer. Your duty is to meet and help as many people as you possibly can. And when you meet them, you'll know, I can help this person, I can't help this one. But you won't know that until you meet them. So don't sit together, all right? I'm not going to ask who's sitting here from the same company. I mean, sometimes, like today, you know, Saxon and I are on the same table because she's been sat there by the organising committee. But if it was a normal event and say we're not on the head table, we're on one of these tables, and we both by chance sat down, because I'll be there early, I'll put my something or other on the chair to mark out my chair, and she probably does the same thing because we're out networking. We come back, we go, oh, hey, we're on the same table. One of us has got to get off that table and go and sit somewhere else. We cannot be on the same table. It's a bad use of resource. So one of us will say, oh, okay, I'll go and sit over here, right? And they'll go off and do that. You've got to have that, whatever that understanding. Same when you're working in a big room. If there's two of you, or say there's two of you, you walk in, you say, right, I'll take the left side, you take the right side, see you at the end. It's just like my golf game. They say golf is a social game. I don't know about that. When I tee off and it slices off to the right, and I'm out in the woods looking for my ball, the only time I see people is back at the green, you know. So I didn't find it very social, but that's like networking, right? You're going to have that opportunity to try and meet with people and divide up the room, meet as many as you can, and then meet together on the green at the end. Don't walk down the fairway together, all right? Don't do that. So how do you do your elevator pitch for networking? This is there's many formulas. This is just one formula. I make it a simple one. So people will often say, give them the card, oh, what do you do? Now, there's an accounting seminar going on next door, so let's pick on accounting. So you could say, I'm an accountant. I work in tax. I'm in audit. I'm in tax consulting, or I'm in, whatever it might be. Or you can say something more interesting than that. You could say something about, well, my firm helps companies to minimise their tax exposure and to keep themselves compliant with the accounting rules in this country and keep people out of trouble. We never have issues with our clients because we help them, right? So the overview is, I'm a tax firm. We help people stay out of trouble. So then you get to the problem. The issue comes up in Japan because the tax laws are quite complicated, that some people unknowingly, this is the problem part, can get into issues and they get audits and then they have trouble. We fix that problem. And then you leave it. So you put up the problem, you put up your solution, and then you just leave it. And often people will say, like the skepticism kicks in, right? You say, oh yeah, we fixed that problem. And you just see the cogs turning. They're going, oh yeah? How do you do that? And that's what you want. You want them to ask you, how do you do that? Tell them broadly what you do, highlight a problem that comes up very often in your industry, and then provide very short form, oh yeah, we fixed that. Oh, that's never a problem. That gets done. Don't tell them how. Just tell them the what. When they say, well, how do you do that? We say, well, it's quite comprehensive and quite complicated, but I'll be very happy to share it with you. I'm just a bit busy today, but I'll reach out to you. And I'll have the conversation in their office, as I said before, right? You don't want to solve the problem there and then. You want to put the hook in that there's a solution for their problem that you'll come back later, sit in their office and fix for them. But you've got to suggest that there's a problem. Now, I'm an accountant is not helpful. I'm an accountant who helps people do something or other. A common problem is this. This is what we do. So you pick it up, whatever your industry you're in, like you're in the translation business, right? So we're a global translation company, multi-language, 24 hours a day. The problem for a lot of people is the quality of the translations. It needs a lot of rework. It's very time-consuming, annoys people. We fix that problem. So when Sarah says that, I want to know, oh yeah? How'd you fix that problem? And she's not going to tell me. She said, well, we've got systems for dealing with that. It's not the right place to talk about it in depth today, but I'll reach out to you and I'll go through it with you and explain how we do that. Very simple formula to help you get to the nut of the problem that you want to solve for that client. So I'm going to go through some of the Dale Carnegie human relations principles to help you in that being charming part. Okay, the charming part. Principle number 4, be genuinely interested in other people. Now, you'll find at networking events, there are a lot of people there who didn't come for networking. They came for the speaker. They don't bring Mainsheet and they're not interested in meeting you. They blank you, as we say. They just brush you off. Hey, guess what? Don't worry about it. There's plenty of people there who are nice. Meet them. You will meet those people. They're annoying, but don't let them worry you. When you're talking with people, you've got to be genuinely, the key word there is genuinely. We don't want an interrogation. Naomi, so how many people down there at your company you've got, and what sort of budget do you have for training down there, and what's the monthly total? It's not an interrogation, right? It's not that type of being interested. It's more like trying to get to know her better and find out about her. But from a genuine point of view, if you like people, you like to meet new people, you like to find out about companies, industries, what they're doing, people feel it. If it's an interrogation or it's some sort of, rat with a gold tooth sort of sneaky, routine, they pick it up straight away. They realize, oh, this person's just trying to milk me for information here to sell me something. No one wants to be sold to, but we all want to buy. Remember that? Everyone loves to buy. Nobody wants to be sold to. Don't sell to them. Make it so they want to buy from you. Be genuinely interested in other people. And principle number 5 is smile. Japan's a very serious country, actually. When Japanese people are found are concentrating, they're not smiling much. Now, Japanese may be able to do this. They may be able to tell, oh, that serious face is not an angry face. But poor old gaijin like me, when I see that Japanese serious face that looks angry to me, I can't tell it's serious or angry. It looks angry, right? Don't take the risk. Smile when you meet people, right? Even if you've got a crap smile like mine, I don't have a great smile. Some people, you meet people who've just got these mostly Americans, I've noticed, Maybe it's the dental work or something, I don't know. But they've just got these unbelievably brilliant smiles. I'm so jealous of those people. Do the best with what you got, but try and put on a genuine smile. And it'll just make the whole thing a bit easier. And principle number 7, this is interesting. Be a good listener. Encourage others to talk about themselves. What's the danger here? We're networking. Oh, I've got to impress people. I've got to impress Andrew. I've got to tell him all the great things I'm doing and how fantastic we are, and I've got to load up the stuff here for him. No, you want it the other way around. You want to shut up and listen to them, because most people's lives are made up of being jumped on while they're speaking, talked over the top of them, cutting them off, finishing their sentences for them, not having anyone appreciate them and listen to them. They're desperate to have someone listen to them. That's you. They will feel so good about you. You listen to, and listen, really listen. Not be thinking, now, I wonder if this is the frog that's going to make me $1 million or not, I wonder how many seconds I've got to talk to this person before I can get out of here, No. When you're there, you're there. You're 100% with them. Nobody else. Concentrate. Listen to them. And let them talk about themselves. Encourage them to talk about their business, talk about their company, talk about themselves. You learn a lot. You might have commonalities, like you find on my table. I'm from Australia. She's going to Australia very shortly. We've got this commonality. She's from Sydney. Okay, I forgive her for that. I'm from Brisbane, Like, there's those sorts of things. Or you went to the same university, or in the same group, or you've had a similar experience. Those are the bonds that build connections with people. You think about the people you're closest with, it's because you've got the most connections, usually, right? And then number 8, talk in terms of the other person's interest. Don't talk about what's exciting for you. Talk about what's exciting for them. Find out what they're interested in and talk about that. They'll love you for it. They'll love you for it. Be charming. Talk about their interest. It'll go much better. And then number 15, now this is very hard. You've got to let them do a great deal of the talking. This is straight sales, right? If you're in a sales role and you find in a sales call you're doing all the talking, you better shut up right there and ask a question and let the other person start talking. Same in networking. If you find you're doing the talking, shut up, ask them a question, and then start listening. 80% should be them, 20% should be you. Max, right? It's very important, because when they do the talking, you learn. When you do the talking, you don't learn anything. So I'm going to talk a little bit about social media briefly. It's very important today because people will check you out on social media before they meet you, or they'll check you out after. What are they going to find? What are they going to see? You with a straw hat and a very exotic-looking drink in the pool, Is that what they're going to see on your social media? And you want to talk business? A lot of Americans in a certain age group are not using Facebook for business because there's a lot of very, very unsuitable stuff on their accounts from when they were young, when it first started. I started late, so I've only got professional stuff for me, and I post no personal stuff at all. No personal stuff at all on Facebook or LinkedIn. It's all business, right? Because when people find me, that's what I want them to see. You look at the photographs on my Facebook or my LinkedIn, it's me like this, in a suit with a tie, giving a presentation or teaching. That's my business. It's congruent with what I do. So they're going to check you out. Now I just picked this up. I've got the LinkedIn actual page here, but it's too small. You can't see it, so I've made it bigger. It says there, this is about 2 days ago, 655 people viewed my profile. See, be known. 1,612 people searched for me. Searched for me. That's no accident, right? When you're meeting a couple hundred people a week networking, they check you out. They go and look at you. Who is this guy? What has he done? Where did he go to college? What did he do? And then I've got 22,589 followers. I don't know most of them. I probably know a couple of hundred on that list. Now, some people say, oh, LinkedIn, I'm only going to connect with people I really want to know. I don't look at it that way. I'm going to kiss as many frogs as I can. Get it out there. Because I post articles on LinkedIn, I post them on Facebook, I post them on Twitter, all business related. It's congruent with what I do. And when people come onto my site, they see, oh, this guy's got 1,600 articles on LinkedIn. 1,600 articles, what's he posting? And they go in, they see, oh, he's got a video of him doing his Cutting Edge Japan Business Show YouTube channel, comes out every Tuesday. He's got an 800-word article here on leadership or sales or presentations, because that's what I write on. Or it might be the same thing in Japanese, because I'm posting, regularly during the week. What are they finding on your site? How are they going to judge about you? Take care of that. Put something up there that's relevant for business, interesting for the person who's looking for you. So finally, we're getting there now. With the Mainsheet, very simple. Japan's great, Mainsheet. What a brilliant idea. You grab the Mainsheet, you're holding the Mainsheet, you walk up to people and say, you got it in front of you, right? May I meet you? As you're half bowing, like, what are they going to do? They're going to take the Mainsheet, right? You've got two hands, you're holding it. May I meet you? And you're smiling, right? Now, my name is Greg Story. The trouble is, most of you, when you meet people, you say, my name is boop, boop, and they never get the name. You say it way too fast. Here's a hint. My name is, little pause. This is the 3 Ps. Little pause. Greg, part, put a part between my first name and second name, Greg, little part there. Story, punch the story a bit harder so it's easy to remember. My name is Greg Story, like that. Then they hear the name. Most people, you can't remember the name because you couldn't hear it. So, simple thing, what does your company do? You ask them, how long have you been working there? This is just casual conversation. What did you do before? They might have network in another company you want to meet. Happens all the time. You meet someone, oh yeah, I used to be with so-and-so. Bingo, I want to meet that company. This person can introduce me. Great, Now, I talk about the German chamber. I call it the German Giants Iron Circle. This happens to me at the German chamber. German gentlemen are big guys. They're big dudes, the top of my head is often their shoulder height. And 5 of them, like an iron circle, they're talking to each other in German. And here's me, with my Mainsheet out, May I meet you, So I have got the cure for corporate cancer. I have no fear of the iron circle. I shouldn't tap here. I tap them up here because they're so tall. I tap them on the shoulder. Was ist das? Type of attitude. May I meet you? Sweetly. And now it's very interesting. When you meet the first one, you give him your card, you say, great to meet everyone else, because otherwise they'll all disappear. You've got to hold them there, right? You meet the first guy, and then don't let the others go away. Oh, great. Oh, can I meet the rest of you too? And bang, 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 bang. 5 of them straight away, right? Now, you may only have a chance to talk to 1 or 2, but it's a start. It's a start, And so you can't be put off by that iron circle of people talking together. So, I can't break in. They're having an important discussion. Forget that. You got the cure for corporate cancer. Be brave. You should be out there helping those people with their businesses. You can help them. Okay, so follow up. I send them an email. I designate the date. Sometimes I'll send white papers, ebooks, if it's a relevant conversation, because you probably got those things too. You might even have a sample you want to send, if it's relevant. Like with the supplements, right? You might send them just a little gift sample. This for you, right? And if you can, not always easy, but sometimes handwritten mail note is good because, like all of us here, we just get swamped with emails, right? Like, that's what I say, you send people emails that don't answer you. Sometimes because they don't want to, but other times they're just busy. Just follow up. I follow up 4 times. After that, I quit. I send the same email, I copy the one I sent, send it again. 4 times, then I quit, because after that, you're just annoying. If they aren't going to get back to me by 4, they're never getting back to me. So I do it that way. So handwritten notes, always very good. So I'm going to confirm one thing for you. Your business is in business to help clients. You are doing something of high value for your clients. You need more clients. You've got the cure for their corporate cancer with your business solution. Be brave. Don't hesitate. Meet people, become known, connect with people, and then build your business and find the $1 million client that you need. Thank you.